All right, welcome to The Explainer. This is where we break down big stories into what you really need to know. And today we are diving into the very first chapter of a global phenomenon. It all starts with a boy named Harry, who, believe it or not, had absolutely no idea he was famous.
Okay, so picture this. All across the country, in these hushed, secret meetings, people are raising their glasses and toasting to Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Now, they're toasting a 1-year-old Davy. So why? To get why this entire hidden world is celebrating, we've got to rewind just a few hours to a world that is, well, completely different.
You know, our story doesn't kick off with magic. Not at all. It starts with a family absolutely determined to be as normal as possible. We're talking about the Dursleys of number 4 Privet Drive. They were, and I quote, proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. Yeah, they wanted nothing to do with anything strange or mysterious. So what was the Dursleys' biggest fear? Well, it was their dirty little secret. Mrs. Dursley's sister, Mrs. Potter, and her whole family. I mean, the Potters were about as un-Dursley-ish as you could possibly get. The Dursleys just shuddered at the thought of what the neighbors might say if they ever found out.
But on this one particular, totally dull gray Tuesday, that strange and mysterious world the Dursleys were so afraid of, it started to seep in. Right from the moment Mr. Dursley left for work, his day was just filled with these bizarre signs that his perfectly normal world was about to get flipped completely upside down.
So get this. As he's leaving work, a tiny man in a violet cloak just runs up and hugs him, saying, "Rejoice, for you know who has gone at last. Even muggles like yourself should be celebrating." He gets called a muggle, a word he's never heard before, and is told to celebrate because someone called you-know-who is gone. The mystery of the day is getting way deeper, and honestly, a lot more personal. So that night, after the Dursleys are fast asleep, totally convinced that whatever weird stuff was going on couldn't possibly affect them, well, that's when the source of all the day's strangeness finally arrives on their quiet, perfectly tidy street.
This man, he's unlike anyone you'd ever see on this street. He's got these long robes, high-heeled boots, the whole deal. And then he pulls out this strange silver gadget, the put-outer, and one by one, he just zaps out all the streetlights, plunging the entire street into total darkness.
And then Dumbledore is met by Professor McGonagall, who, get this, transforms from a tabby cat right back into a woman. They confirm the rumors they'd been hearing all day are true. The dark wizard Voldemort, and you can see she flinches just saying the name, has disappeared. He went to the home of James and Lily Potter, and they're dead.
But there's something else, something absolutely astounding. The rumors say that Voldemort tried to kill the Potter's little son, Harry, but he couldn't. For some unknown reason, that attack completely broke Voldemort's power. Think about it. A dark wizard who terrorized their world for 11 years, who killed so many people, was stopped by a 1-year-old baby. And nobody knows how. Nobody knows why this little boy survived.
And then the boy himself shows up. Hagrid, this giant of a man, delivers him on a borrowed flying motorcycle. After that, Dumbledore just places the orphaned baby right on the Dursleys' doorstep with nothing but a letter. He believes it's the safest place for him, a place where he can grow up away from the fame that is definitely waiting for him.
But, that best place for him that Dumbledore mentioned, yeah, it turned out to be anything but a loving home. We jump forward 10 years, and Harry's life, well, it's pretty bleak.
He's grown up small and skinny, always wearing his cousin Dudley's huge, baggy hand-me-downs. He's been told his whole life that his parents died in a car crash, the same crash that gave him that lightning bolt scar on his forehead. And, oh yeah, he lives in a spider-filled cupboard under the stairs.
I mean, the difference between Harry's life and his cousin Dudley's, it's just night and day. While Harry is sleeping in a cupboard, Dudley is spoiled, absolutely rotten. For his 11th birthday, he actually threw a massive tantrum because he only got 37 presents, not 38 like he did the year before. Can you believe that?
So Harry's life with the Dursleys is basically all about neglect and rules. And the number one rule is don't ask questions. But even though he tries his best to stay out of trouble, strange things, they just have a way of happening all around him. This is what Uncle Vernon is always threatening him with. Why? Because he absolutely cannot explain the funny business that seems to follow Harry everywhere he goes. And frankly, it terrifies him. And these were the kinds of things that always got Harry punished. His hair growing back overnight after a horrible haircut. Shrinking a disgusting sweater just so he wouldn't have to wear it. He had no idea how he did any of it. They were just these little glimmers of a power he never knew he had. Okay, but the incident at the zoo? That was the final straw. After Dudley shoves Harry out of the way, the glass on the snake enclosure just finishes, and the snake slithers out. But the absolute worst part for Harry was when Dudley's friend, Piers, swore that Harry was talking to the snake. That little detail earned him his longest punishment ever in the cupboard. So as Harry's totally miserable summer drags on and his 11th birthday gets closer, the magical world that left him on that doorstep all those years ago, well, it finally starts reaching out. And it does it in a very direct and, as we'll see, a very persistent way. This was the future Harry saw for himself. Just bleak. A new school, but the same old life of being the outcast. But then, one totally ordinary morning, a chore he's done 1,000 times before changes literally everything. Uncle Vernon barks the order just like he always does, so Harry, dodging Dudley's new smelting stick, goes to get the mail, and in that pile, he finds something that should be impossible. It all starts with just one letter, a letter for him, which has never, ever happened before. And the way it's addressed, well, it proves this is no mistake.
It's written in this emerald green ink on yellowish parchment, sealed with purple wax, and the address is just so specific, so personal. It's the very first piece of real evidence that someone, somewhere, knows who he is, and they know exactly where he is. This is the first real sign that Harry is part of a whole other world.
So this one letter, it's way more than just mail. It's a call to adventure. It's the key that promises to unlock the mystery of his past and reveal the truth of his future. And it leaves us with the question that's going to define the rest of his entire life. Who is writing to a boy in a cupboard, and what happens now?